Well, that kind of sucked, and I don't think it's okay. I'm right in the middle of, bearing my testimony. And stupid Gemini, Google Gemini pops on without being asked. Is it just me, or is it a little sickening having these ultra controls over our phones, over our technology, this lack of freedom and what we get alone? And who's not setting the standard, okay? We're not setting the standard, okay? Why aren't we going to our Congress and saying, look, this is invasive? These people are looking at us naked in our houses, you know? Laugh, I don't care. I'm standing here naked in my house. And yes, I know that these idiot TVs are probably looking at me and ha ha ha, joke's on you. Because believe me, I'm not running around looking like nobody's Sports Illustrated model outside of my clothes. And they deserve every wrinkle. No. Anyway, what I'm trying to say is I think it's stinky and I think it's intolerable. And I will not just sit here quietly. No, I will not go quietly into the night as these people usurp control over our lives and our privacy in the name of big business. I'm done with this CEO crap, okay? I watched it's that show. What is her name? She played Tina Turner. I can't remember her name, and I'm hating myself for it because she's by far and large one of my favorite actresses. She was in Waiting to Exhale, I think. Can y'all believe it? Please, if anyone can, put it down in the comments because she really deserves her props. But she plays a police officer going on a plane. She gets on the plane, and everyone there is just absolutely miserable. I mean, they are miserable, okay? These people are beside themselves. One dude's duct taped to a seat. As she enters, a cop approaches her. Forgive me for that term. Because he was such a jerk, I called him that. Okay? You know how we always have a derisive term for races, for professions, quack for doc, that kind of thing. Doctor, excuse me, my mother's a doctor. She would probably wouldn't appreciate that. And then there are the doctors that are physicians. They don't want to be called doctor because everybody's a doctor from a religion to what. And so they're like, physician, please. Anyway, Angela Bassett. Oh, please don't let me be getting it wrong because anyway, I owe her anyway for the way she helped raise me. So, the influence of some of these actors and actresses is profound, and I certainly hope that they appreciate how much we appreciate and how much they when they do get corrupted or the system comes to them and approaches them to take over, I hope they understand that yeah, the devil's gonna make them feel like, well, who am I? Don't know nobody care if I sell out. I'm not gonna name names, but I know a lot of people who sell out. Okay, and I don't think they knew the value that they had for the world, for the universe, if you will, because they just had such a profound influence. Then they started getting more interested in caring about if you wear wine after Labor Day. I could have died when I heard that. I'm not even going to go down that road. Meanwhile, you guys, she gets on this plane and the officer approaches her and puts his hand upon her person. And she's, don't touch my shoulder. And he's like, don't make me. She's all, don't make me what? This woman is in full uniform as a police officer, but she's, what? Technicolor. So he's sitting up here thinking he's going to play with a spade. And she is not about to have that. She's not even about that. Okay. This is not a person. I don't even think the person the actress who plays the role is about anything to do with that. And so she's like, you better roll back. You don't need this. And so she's like, what's happening here? And they're like, we have this under control. She's like, obviously not. This guy's duct taped to a chair. Okay. One of the chairs. And he's like, well, the guy they've been sitting in this plane for 8 hours in those cloistered little chairs. We're talking torture. We're talking experiment. We're talking, I would be so shocked if there was no camera, and then it would be absolutely, I'm just saying it'd be an insult to my intelligence to believe for even a moment that there aren't forces and beings and entities and let's just say facilities that would not want that information. Okay, that's valuable mental health information to see how long you can keep someone stuck in a small space like that. Because remember, our souls were originally free. We're already feeling confined in these bodies, all right? And which is one of the reasons that the dark forces cause a lot of pain. And the first thing witches, warlocks, sorcerers, any kind of magic that's put on you is to get to your health. And people are like, oh, wow, can they make you sick? Yeah, sometimes they can, babe. Yeah, depend. They can sacrifice an animal and give you the flu. However, depending on their dark connections, because they've done it's in layers. They've done other deeds, everything from sexual misconduct and perversions. It gets. Ooh, I don't like that I have to call up to memory things to impart them because then, I have that in my head, but I certainly don't want it in your head, okay? And the Bible's clear on that. That, you know, it's a dirty darn shame when we have to describe these atrocities that are done to each other and then it puts it in somebody else's head. So what do we got now? In come the horror movie, or what I call psycho training films, okay? Think about it. We got a lot of ridiculousness in this society, in all society, on planet Earth, brought to you by the Illuminists. The ones who say, we're shedding light on it. We're the light bringers. We're letting you know good from evil. Guess what? They've been showing evil. And they've been saying, well, you can get an advantage this. Yeah, short advantage, maybe. Anyway, so what happens is the man way oversteps his authority. So she's like, now, why can't he get out of his seat? First of all, the man's mother is dead under the plane and he's got to get her out of there. Okay. And I know it's the dad and the mother's waiting to see them. And so anyway, it's a big deal. Well, he says, well, we're told that they can't leave the plane. She goes, why? Why can't they leave the plane? He says the CEO says that no one should leave the plane if they're coming in and there's some kind of backup. And she's like, CEO, that says Los Angeles Airport Police. And you're taking it. And she goes into all of these examples of how the airlines charge, so much money for carry-on and baggage and how, they've taken out seats so that people can't sit down. Anyway, she goes, and you're on their side. So she goes, fine, everyone's arrested. You guys can get off this plane, And it's funny because clearly she's risking her reputation. She's risking her job. She's risking a lot. My brother Khalid did the same thing. It's a big story. Real quick, he's at the Zayag Hotel and the Falahas had a lot of picking to do the next day. And they, Falahas are farm ladies. And they were doing the harvesting. And so, pardon me, what happened was the noise, the music, Arabic weddings are an offense to me. They're just way too loud. It's not even cute. It's not funny. At this point, it's raucous and loud. And so what ended up happening is that she said, we can't get rest. And they didn't call Khalid. That's not how it works in Egypt. You have to go grab an officer. And there's like 9 different militaries on a street. I wouldn't know a cop from any other, form of authority there. So I ended up hearing that she only told him about it. And he was like, what? So he goes over there and has these people on their knees. Okay, I'm going to have to edit this later. Never mind.